Bam! Okay guys, let's go over the top 5 macronutrient suggestions or whatever. It's sort of clickbaity. I will go over these top 5 or more, who cares? It's kind of sad how we've become so used to clickbait to draw us in, but here we go. So the macros are important, right? You want 85, 15, 5. So it's 80% fat, 15% protein, 5% carbohydrates, especially in the beginning of your keto adaptation. So your body is primed and conditioned to want to run off of carbohydrates, and so when you deplete your glycogen from your muscle glycogen, and you stop eating starches and sugars, the body kind of freaks out, which is why all the measures that you need to take to make sure you don't go into this crazy keto flu response is very important. So this is the reason why I stress so much to keep your fats real high. Now 80% fat, yes, would really be more around a 260 grams of fat range, but mark. But I really like to put the fat at a baseline starting, listen to me people, starting at 200 grams of fat. You would split that up throughout the day. It's the same thing with hydrating yourself. You don't drink 2 liters, a liter in the morning and then, some of it here and there. You need to, or 2 liters after or during your workout, you disperse your fat throughout the day. For women, as you guys know, this is material I've spoken about before, but you may not catch some of the older videos. I need to create more playlists. Yes. I'm busy. I'm writing the ultimate keto book, as you guys know. And there's only one version of keto, so when you keep hearing about refeeds and carb loading and all this crap and drinking alcohol and caffeine, it feeds into people's addictive patterns and behavior. So essentially, you want to have primarily animal fat because that's what we're comprised of, right? We want the right ratios between mono, saturates, and poly. And that's the problem. A lot of you guys are going for the monos, or you're going for the nut fats, which are high in polyunsaturated fat. We have too much of that. That's an inflammatory response when you have too much poly. You want a balance between these fatty acid ratios, which come from animal fat. Makes sense, right? Because I'm not an avocado. I'm an animal fat, in layman's terms. So you guys doing coconut oil and avocados. And the crazy thing is, a lot of you guys have sensitivity to avocados, so then when you can't eat the avocados, then what? What if you have a nut sensitivity, then what? Is it coconut? What if you got a coconut oil sensitivity? So people tend to not have as much of a sensitivity or histamine response to animal fats, especially pastured lard. Yes, ironically. Some do, most don't. So you want your vegetables to be of the cruciferous type. That's fibrous. Broccoli, cauliflower, kale, asparagus, dark leafy greens. And dark leafy greens are great because that's the whole, getting a lot of potassium, magnesium into your diet, which you need because you're hemorrhaging electrolytes on a ketogenic protocol because, of course, for every 1 bite of a carb that you eat, that your body holds on to 2.8 grams of water, 1 gram to 2.8 or 3 grams of water, which you lose quite much on a ketogenic protocol, especially if you plan to remain strict ketosis like myself. So it's very important that you mind your electrolytes. So we've got 80% fat primarily coming from animal fat split out through the day. Breakfast, mid-morning. Not everyone has to have a mid-morning snack, but it's kind of good in the beginning. Like you can put it in tea form. You can put a butter or ghee in tea, or even animal fats like lard and, let's say, ginger, and drink it. And I don't care if you don't want to drink it. That's my advice. Yeah. Be careful for the oils. They tend to oxidize, like olive oil, avocado oil. They oxidize quite quickly, so don't rely on them. These are how you start. Get rid of things like tomato, cucumber, yellow squash, carrots, sweet potato. Unless you want to graduate yourself slowly into ketosis, then you can use those sweeter types of veggies with less fiber. That's a graduation, but that's not when you're strict keto. When you're strict keto, you are, and my recording's going to end. So chops off, go to stephanieperson.com to learn more and to find out about the Ultimate Keto